This is a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the Oklahoma Sports Network's consent is prohibited. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be used without express written consent.
Well, here's a change. Instead of a good evening, how about a very good morning? An early morning at that, live from the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma, site of the first game in state in Class 5A, 6A. Glad to have you along. My name is Eric Sharon, along with Jordan Wright. Jordan, little early morning. I had to set the alarm this morning as opposed to waking up naturally and to hit the road to be able to get here for this presentation. But I'm excited. I know the girls are excited. I know the Macarthur girls came up last night, so they stayed, so they didn't have to take an early bus ride. But then your concern as a coach is how much sleep did they really get in a hotel room with a bunch of girls?
Absolutely. I think, I have a feeling, though, these girls, they're in a similar situation to the girls from our next game, the Carl Albert Titans, where they've made it to state 2 years in a row heading into this year, but they lost in the first round both times. So I have a feeling that especially the senior players on this team are going to tell the rest of the players this is a business trip, so you better get your rest.
Okay, so we've got 7.5 minutes before we tip this one off, and we'll have probably the national anthem and the starting lineup, so a lot to go over, and this is an audio-only presentation during the broadcast, but we appreciate you listening in. I know for those who are going to be at work, could not make the travel, you want to stay up with the very latest, especially for the Macarthur Lady Highlanders, and then coming up next, the Carl Albert Lady Titans, and then in the evening, doubleheader, Carl Albert and Del City, so we've got plenty on the network for you to enjoy.
And noon time.
Oh, and noon. That's right. I forgot Newcastle. We're down. That's right.
We're going to get Newcastle.
Thank you, Newcastle with Weatherford on the network. And thank you, Jordan.
I'm excited about that one, actually.
Yes, that's going to be a good game as well. We're going to take a timeout and be back with Coach's comments right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
When I'm flying, I put my helmet on, my visor down, my mask up. You don't know who I am. Whether I'm African American, Asian American, Hispanic, white, male or female. You just know I'm an American airman kicking your butt. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Coast Technology Group helps you feel safe and secure utilizing simple, reliable technology. Allow our team of experts to help you design the right system with high-definition surveillance cameras, cutting-edge smart alarm systems, and thoughtfully designed access control for your home or business. Work, sleep, and play with confidence, knowing CTG is your technology partner.
Okay, we're with Coach Jodas Gentry. And, Coach, you got to say that very proud of your accomplishments this season. Before we start talking about state, let's talk about this year as a whole. How would you evaluate that? And then let's talk about your senior leadership as well.
This year as a whole, I think the team was very successful in the way we played, our defense and our offense, and how we came together these last couple of games. Our senior leadership, you can't ask for any other better players. Elena, T, Taj, they've been every practice on top of everything. Make sure the players understand the plays, and they've been really helpful to the younger players too.
Okay, you're in the Final Eight. It's very special to make state, but we've said that before. It's not just good enough to be there.
Yes, it's rewarding getting there, but now we need to knock that door down and get in there all the way. And the last 2 years, we've been tipping at the door. Now this time, we're going to knock the door down.
Well, it makes it a little bit more challenging. It's a Wednesday game. I know that moving from Tulsa, they finally moved to Norman last year at Lloyd Noble, and then they opened it up where they didn't want to have any area games outside the arena. So with 5A and 6A both being there, they had to make a Wednesday schedule. So it was very kind of strange for us to see a 9 a.m. game. I know you're going to go up early and spend the night, which is smart as opposed to getting the bus out early. What else concerns you with an early 9 a.m. start?
The players. You know, a lot of the young players are not used to getting up that early. And like I was telling my girls, the energy. You got to get up in the morning, get stretched out, that energy. If we have that energy in the morning, I think we're going to be really successful.
How do you match up with Holland Hall, and what can you give as a scouting report with them?
They're a pretty talented team, and what we're going to do is we're going to put ball pressure on them. They have a really talented point guard. Our goal is to take her out the game and then play hard defense on everybody else and execute our offense and execute on defense.
Okay, now as a casual observer, we got to see a lot of your games of the last several years. I know your style of tenacity as far as defense, but I noticed something different last game, which you kind of took a little bit of patience. You know, you used a little bit of the stall ball tactic, and that was different. How did you come up with that, and what made you decide to use that with Piedmont last week?
Well, Piedmont is a very smart basketball team, and sometimes when you speed up on those good teams, you have the turnovers. So we start talking to our girls about pacing ourselves when we go to offense, taking our time, moving the ball around more, and I think that would really help us out when we played Piedmont. Now, Holland Hall is going to be a little bit different because they like to put pressure, and they're very aggressive. So we're going to match that with being aggressive, and then when we get a good lead and halftime, we're going to go into our pace, take our time, and get good shots.
Well, and that free throw really helped you out because the thing is they were in trouble in that second half. It put you to the line, and that really is, in essence, and we've said this before, that can win you a game, and that did. So talk a little bit about, is there anything extra that you do in practice as far as free throws, but you guys were really connecting in that second half?
Well, what we try to tell our players in the game, free throws win ball games. And we do it a couple of ways. We shoot 5, you run your misses, and then we play a free throw game where save your partner. And I think that's what's been happening. We've been doing that all year, putting the pressure on you with shooting free throws. Because if you miss, you run in 2 sprints down and back. So I guess they focus more shooting those free throws to keep them running so much.
That's a good tactic. All right, it's going to be a great matchup. Holland Hall, it's an early morning start right here. Good luck to the Macarthur Highlanders as we'll follow them the rest of the way. We've got action and the tip-off coming up next right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Sidelined by surgery, illness, injury? Valor Physical Therapy can help. At Valor PT, our skilled therapists create a rehabilitation program individualized for you, with education and encouragement each step of the way. Whether it's sports or the activities of life, let Valor get you back in the game. Start now at 405-265-6449. No referral needed. Mention Oklahoma Sports Network and get a free t-shirt at your first appointment.
We come from different backgrounds, with diverse interests and unique learning styles. Finding classes that fit your individual needs isn't a challenge at Cameron University. A small campus and dedicated faculty ensures there's always someone close by to guide you on your journey. Your success is our success. Your education is our mission. At Cameron University, you're not a number, you're part of the family.
When it comes to your home, you need someone that you can trust to keep it safe and protected for you and your family.
Vesta Foundation Solutions is your local, family-owned company that has helped many homeowners fix and protect their homes.
Our engineered solutions can take care of all of your foundation repair, basement waterproofing, concrete leveling, and dirt crawl space repair needs.
We take pride in getting the job done right, and you'll always be protected with up to a 75-year warranty.
Contact us today for a free estimate.
Aw, look, how sad. Everybody but you has a debit card, and they're all out having fun, shopping, dining, feeling good. And here you are with crumpled cash and counting change. Not a good look, pal. Sounds like your wallet needs a friend. That friend is a PayMe debit card from Communication Federal Credit Union. Use your free PayMe card in apps, in stores, and anywhere you shop. You're good to go. Come into any branch and open your account in as little as 10 minutes or go to comfedcu.org. Communication Federal.
Feet. We use them every day, working, playing, and usually taking them for granted. If your feet hurt, see the professionals at Southwest Foot and Ankle Clinic. They've been serving Southwest Oklahoma for the past 36 years, providing the highest quality care and combining the latest technology with old-fashioned Oklahoma compassion. With 3 locations to serve you, Lawton, Duncan, and Altus. Call today or visit us online at swokfoot.com.
Want to take the stress out of your next remodel or building project? Comanche Home Center can deliver all the lumber, supplies, and tools right to you. When you're done, they'll pick up anything you don't use and give you credit towards your next project. Give Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
Here at Carpet One, we have a great selection of carpet, hardwood, vinyl, tile, laminate, and area rugs. With all this, you're sure to find exactly what you want for your home. Come browse our exclusive selection or give Carpet One at Comanche Home Center a call today for a free estimate.
Goodbye, paperwork. Hello, convenience. Farewell, waiting. Hello, personal service. Catch you later, dreaming. Hello, planning. Buy your dream home, connect with a personal banker, and easily schedule an appointment with digital tools from Arvest Bank. Goodbye limits, hello possibilities.
Arrow Sign Company has been serving Oklahoma and surrounding states for over 60 years. As a family-owned business, our focus has always been on driving people to your door, not just selling you a sign. From custom sign design and manufacturing to installation and service, Arrow Sign has the knowledge and experience to deliver the ideal sign for you while using materials of the highest quality to ensure that your sign will look great for years and years to come. We design and manufacture our signs for longevity, so you get the greatest return on investment possible. Arrow Sign Company, helping your business thrive since 1955.
All right, back here at Lloyd Noble, site of the first of our 5A contests for a Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. and the Macarthur Lady Highlanders being introduced right now with, we'll say, the M&Ms for the twins of Martinborough as Taj and T. Miss Fisher comes out, Elena Mack, number 23, and then Alana Vines, who's really had an incredible back-to-back games and the low post, and we really need for her to show up today. I'm so used to saying tonight, but this morning, for her to be able to decide to see if her team can advance. And we'll have her interview and the Martinborough sisters' interviews at the half. You've been in this situation before. What do you tell your team heading into a situation like this?
You know, by the time you get to right before tip-off, there are no magic words. You're going to rely on your preparation to get to this point. Right now the preparation's over, so it's just remind them of a fundamental here or there that they need to stick with, especially perhaps on defense. This Holland Hall team is no joke. They were 4A last year and had been 4A. They moved up to 5A during the season. It's really strange, but it's a weird explanation as to why. But they beat Tahlequah girls by 22 in the area championship. Tahlequah is no joke. They were at the Carl Albert tournament, so I saw them up close, and they have size too, just like Lon MacArthur has. So Holland Hall is used to defending against a bigger post player and succeeding. And I'll be interested to see how they do it, because as you told me off air, Eric, that Lon MacArthur will look to go inside early and often.
That's right. They're going to use the tandem between Vines and Mack if they can, and you know what? But don't think that that's all they've got, because the outside shooting between Fisher and T is a difference maker. So the tip-off is controlled by Holland, and the Dutch will have the opening start as they'll come down the floor here at Lloyd Noble, home of the Sooners here in Norman, Oklahoma. And it's off to the perimeter shot for a 3-ball, up no good, but a rebound by Davis. And she's going to go up top once again. Fugit back into the hand. She looks to drive. Back out for a 3-ball on the way. Back irons, no good. Loose ball picked up by Alyssa Mack. So the Holland Dutch come empty on their first possession. And Martinborough will cross the timeline. And she'll hand out to Fisher on the far side. Up to T. Back over to Taj. Down into Mack, and she'll go up on the top post, and Alana Vines will try to sneak her way down below if she can. It's into the hands of Vines here on the near side, but then Mack has to throw it as falling down, then into Vines, but that's going to be stripped and stolen, and then onto the hands of Dutch.
Vines was not ready on that post play. They rushed the pass to her. Very important for Lawton Macarthur to make good quality post entry passes against this Holland Hall team.
So Regalado will play a little pass catch with Elise Hill back up top of the key for Fugit. Now they go low post, but then back out top for a 3-ball on the way. Back irons, no good. Rebound. They get the rebound, set up on the far corner, and then back up top.
MacArthur going with the 3-2 zone, but their defensive rebounding has not been good with this zone. They need to tighten that up.
Yeah, Vines and Mack down for the low for the rebound. Over here on the left wing is Fugit. Bounce pass with 6:17 left to go. Goes baseline and then inside traffic, up and in off the glass for 2.
She went through 4 players to get that layup for Holland Hall. Very impressive basket early on for him.
So Regalado gets the first score of the morning as Martinborough will go over to T. She'll go baseline, she'll drive, and then she'll get fouled on the way up, and she'll be shooting 2.
So again, Lawton MacArthur going with a 3-2 zone. We've seen a lot of threes by Holland Hall, and they've gotten second chance opportunities. All 5 players, when you're playing zone, need a rebound, especially in the 3-2 zone, because you are going to be a little bit more vulnerable in the paint. So that's something that we'll watch out for if they stay with that zone.
So T gets a quiet response as she goes to the line, gets the first one to make it 2-1. Second shot coming up. Eyes the basket up and in. She gets a 2, and we're all tied up at 2.
Seeing a zone full court press for the Lady Highlanders.
And we're typically seeing that throughout the season, but they get it nicely across court on the far side, and that's tipped as it's semi-blocked into the hands of Vines momentarily, but into the hands of the Dutch, and the Lady Dutch have another opportunity to regroup. Going to go inside. Oh, boy, there's 3 Lady Highlanders to stop Davis from driving. They're going to pump out to a 3, and they're an East Side 3-ball. An East Side Pharmacy 3-ball is good.
And that's like their 4th attempt. They are looking for the 3-point shot against the Lawton MacArthur zone.
So 5-2 the score. MacArthur has only scored at the free throw line. Heavily pressured is Martinborough. In her face is Johnson. She'll circumvent to go around the 2, and then she'll put it up. Vines puts it up off the glass for 2, and a great offensive rebound and a board.
Vines took advantage of the penetration. Got the offensive rebound in the putback.
Elise Hill takes no time to set up and wait. And is that going to be a 2? Yes, that's only going to be.
Yeah, she was on the baseline, but no, inside the arc. But we're seeing Holland Hall, they can shoot. They will look to shoot against the zone again.
Alyssa Mack's going to take it. She's going to bounce out, give it to T, and Martinborough can't hold on to it. So it's going to go out of bounds here on the near court with 4.5 to go left in quarter number 1. And Holland is off with a 3-ball and a couple of great outside shots.
Yeah, Lawton MacArthur needs to settle down on offense. They're a little sloppy on it. They're a little loose with the ball right now.
Well, looks to drive outside for Regalado, and she's the one that got their first points. Turnaround jumper in the lane is good for Miranda Davis.
Davis is undersized, but she got good post position and made a quick move. The turnaround jumper, and Holland Hall shooting the ball real well at the moment.
Crossing the timeline is Fisher. She'll stop, regroup. Little bounce pass to Mack, who underneath, and then the bucket will count under to Vines, and that's what you want, is the bucket to Vines underneath. Count it and count the harm.
The best offensive possession so far for Lawton MacArthur. Mack, I'm a firm believer that the best post-entry passers are also the other post players. So we had a post-to-post pass, Mack inside to Vines, and that was just a great pass, and Vines was able to score really easily off that.
All right, so try to make it a 3-point swing, and does. Even though the official scoreboard did not. That is okay, there it is. So a 9-7 Holland lead as MacArthur, and there's a tie-up and a loose ball, and a jump ball is called, and the possession arrow will go in favor of the Lady Highlanders.
And that's the best defensive possession so far for Lawton MacArthur. They collapsed on the driver really well, and when she just stands there, that's when you want to try to force a jump ball, and they did.
Martinborough will cross the timeline over to Fisher, who comes in off the bench. Alyssa Mack between two people. She puts it up and in. And we're all tied up at 9 apiece.
And she basically went 1-on-3 there and made a beautiful shot. There's just a running baseline jumper there.
She's an underclassman. It's good to see. Outside shot, no good for the 3, but she gets her own rebound back outside, and they'll start out from way downtown, in and out, and into the hands of Alyssa Mack. This is also one of those courts that has the NBA and the college three-point, and that can kind of give havoc. Turnaround jumper for Vines is no good. A loose ball trying to get it is Fisher, and she cannot corral it, and it goes out of bounds as we're all tied up at 9 apiece with 3:01 left to go in quarter number 1.
Turnaround jumper by Vines. I would have used the backboard on that. She might want to think about trying to go for the backboard on that spot.
Look for the steal as Alyssa Mack doesn't get it. Regroups and pumps and puts it in. So Regalado, who's really on fire in the first quarter.
You're seeing Holland Hall has different players who can hit mid-range jumpers.
Fisher wants to try to go low to Mack, but she's double-teamed back out, and then they're going to go to Mack. She'll go hard, up, and then she'll get fouled, and that's what Coach wants her to do, is just go up strong, and then you'll go to the line.
So the Dutch of Holland Hall are playing a man-to-man defense, and that's just the perfect, what Coach Gentry wants to do is right. Go inside because there is a clear size advantage for both Mack and for Vines.
So Alyssa Mack to the line for the Vincent Saylor State Farm Charity Stripe. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there, and she banks this one. That's another thing that you're going to have to hit in games like this is free throws.
Oh, yeah, if you think the game's going to be a little bit close, and that will be a difference maker.
Second shot coming up. Hits the front iron, no good. Rebounded by Holland. And here comes the Dutch. Far left wing, going to bring that up top of the key. She'll back out and fire a rifled pass to the left side over to Fugate. Fugate will drive. Little outside perimeter over to Regalado. Outside, 3-ball on the way. Back irons. Gets the rebound, though, in between two defenders, and there's a loose ball, and probably Fisher is going to be caught with her hand in the cookie jar. And it is.
It's got to be the 4th or 5th offensive rebound Holland Hall has gotten. So that's probably one of the biggest concerns for Lod MacArthur, and it looks like they're going man on this baseline inbounds play.
Believe it or not, that's Highlanders' first team foul. And the inbounds underneath, but it's stolen by Martinborough. It's a one-on-one. She's going to take it up off, puts it up too high off the glass. Loose ball picked up by Holland. So a missed opportunity at a layup, unfortunately.
I think she tried too hard to draw a foul.
I think so. I think she was looking more for the foul, and just like on the other end, same thing. Goes strong, no foul called. Picked up by Martinborough, and she'll cross the timeline. She'll get Fisher to go over to the far side. It's stolen, a read pass into the hands of Holland. Going coast to coast, little floater, and she'll get fouled on the way in.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Martinborough was looking at there.
I'm
talking about Tajana.
Yeah.
She threw it to a Holland Hall player because her teammate was not open. I think she was trying to find Mosley there, or Mosby.
Yeah, Mosby, number 21. So at the line for your Vincent Saylor State Farm Charity Stripe. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. She misses the first one. Hits the front end of the iron. We're at 11-10 with a $137 in a good one here to start early morning basketball on your Wednesday morning.
I'm curious to see, I was going to say, will they take Vines out? Because, as you know, Eric, this is different. We're playing on a Wednesday.
Right.
And whoever wins this game has a day off tomorrow. Does that affect how long you play your regulars? You don't have to worry about subbing as much if you're not, you don't have a 3 games in 3 days scenario coming up.
Well, Courtney Thompson will come and replace Vines, give her a little bit of breather. So Fisher will come across the timeline. Looks to penetrate. She'll go up against 2 defenders. High up and misses everything. Rebound by Holland and then picked up by the Dutch. Crosses the timeline with 1:20 left to go. Drives up, misses, no foul. And Mosby with the rebound. Mosby comes across court. Over to Thompson. Oh, and then it was going to be a great opportunity to Thompson down below as we had another substitution in for the Highlanders is Gaines. Up off the glass for 2, and so they make you pay with an opportunity. And it's a timeout on the floor. It's a 30-second timeout. So 13-10. Good run for Holland in transition. And what I've seen here in the first quarter is if you make a mistake, Holland will make you pay.
Yeah, well, what they have, they're very disciplined in their transition, so it's obviously something that they practice a lot. And also, they have scorers. I mean, that's why they're able to be so successful, even though they're not the biggest team. They got different players who can hit mid-range shots, who know how to get to the basket, and they will push it. So that means you have to have really good offensive possessions. And Lon MacArthur's offensive possessions have not been good the last 2 or 3 trips.
Well, and Coach goes to his bench, like you said, try to get fresh legs in there. And, you know, the jitters and the early morning part when you have some substitutions come off the bench, they've got to shake that off a little bit. Vines will come back into the ball game.
Yeah, very short rest.
Yeah. Paisley will stay in for the Highlanders, and Fisher will bring it across court. So we'll have Mosby and Motenborough and Vines down below. Alyssa Mack on the bench right now as well. Then it's a stolen pass. It's read well as they tried to get it inside, and so they've kind of seen that type of possession, and Holland read it well for a steal. Back out for Casper. We got a new Holland Dutch in. Banks that one up. That's only for 2.
That is a great shot by Regalado because she made it right over Vines. She is showing that she has tremendous scoring abilities right now.
Largest lead for any team by 5. Holland with 15 seconds left to go, playing for the last shot of the first quarter. Back up to Fisher. She'll get a slight pick. She rolls in and she'll be fouled on the way in. And so she got the pick there from Vines, and she found a little bit to stretch herself inside, but nonetheless, she's going to go to the line.
Oh, I thought it was on the floor.
Oh, you're right. It was.
5 seconds for Lon MacArthur.
5 seconds for an inbounds to Vines. Vines back up top. You're going to have to know. Mosby with 2 seconds have to put that one up, and no. Comes up shy. It's a 5-point Holland lead after 1. We'll be back right after this. State Tourney starts right now on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We fight the battles no one hears about.
We drop into the middle of firefights to rescue others.
And act as one-man air traffic control towers. We're the ones who go before all others. Join the fight.
Well, up and down we go. So it's a 5-point lead for Holland after 1 quarter of play, and we'll start quarter number 2. But right now, Holland has come to play, as they've shown.
Biggest problem for Lon MacArthur, well, 2 things. Defensive rebounding. They're switching to a man defense, so that might get better. But also they're passing on offense. That has to improve a lot.
And that's uncharacteristic. I've not really seen them set up bad passes. And I guess you credit Holland's defense for doing that.
You do, but I think a lot of those passes are forced. They can get better at it.
So Regalado will put up top to Casper. She'll dribble between her legs, guarded against Fisher. 7:41, a 3-ball on the way. Rattles in and out. Rebound by the Highlanders, and Fisher will cross half court. She'll stay at the 3. She'll eyeball a 3 on the way. Back irons no. T with the rebound. She'll put it up. Little floater up and in, and that's just as good as anything.
That's another case where you think the three-point shot is your three-point shot when it's the college men's three-point shot. But it worked out for Lon MacArthur because they got the offensive rebound and the putback.
So it's 12-15. An outlet over to Hill. Underneath the corner, but she'll give that to Casper. Turnaround jumper is no good. Vines tests 1 tap to it. Mack, who's back into the ball game, lets Fisher handle it. She'll cross the timeline. She'll go up to an alley-oop to Vines. Vines up off the glass for 2 is good.
That's the ticket.
And a timeout is called by Holland. And it's a full timeout. We'll take it with him. 15-13. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
to showing your loved ones you care. You need the best. A Better Design Flowers and Gifts is under new ownership, and we're proud to be serving the people of Southwest Oklahoma. Our talented florists are committed to building the most beautiful floral arrangements, as well as providing superior customer service. We service all types of events, from weddings to funerals, just because gifts, and of course, holidays. We're also a veteran-owned company. Click, call, or come by today. We'd love to show you a better design.
So Holland calls timeout, and just like that, the Highlanders with a much-needed bucket make it a one-point contest, 15-14 with 6:45 left to go here in the second quarter. Going to go fast. Both these teams want to get up and down the floor pretty quick. Loose ball, and that's going to go out of bounds, so the Macarthur Highlanders are going to take advantage.
One of the few unforced turnovers. By the way, Holland Hall had 5 offensive rebounds. We have stats provided to us here. That's how big time this is.
Yes.
5 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. We just started the second quarter, but so far, Lawton MacArthur's defense looks like it's tightened up. And the key for Lawton MacArthur, give it to Vines. It works. It has worked a lot.
They'll bring Vines way up top, though. Martinborough will be here on the corner, and they'll get Mack. And then they try to do the give and go to Vines, but into the hands of Mack, though. Almost stolen by Holland. She needs a little bit of help. Almost the 5-second count. Gets it into Martinborough just in time. Martinborough over on the left side of the court. She'll back it out as Casper as the lone guard. Mack will come up top. Mack down below to Vines. They've read that, but then she goes in between, puts it up off the glass hard, but it comes up missed. And the rebound into the hands of Regalado. Full court press in the trap. Across the timeline. T is going to try to pickpocket behind her. Gives to Casper on the far corner. Up and in, no good. Gets the rebound, though. Looks for a little bit of help here on the near side. Back over to Fugate. Fugate will go drive the paint. Back out for a 3-ball. On the way. Banks it. An East Side Pharmacy 3. That was dangerous.
And it's because you gave up another offensive rebound.
That was from way downtown to make it 18 and back to a 4-point lead. 5:20 left to go. Back up to Alyssa Mack. Mack on the top of the key. She looks to roll left and then right, and then she'll backpedal. Then over to Martinborough, who's on the far corner. Back over to T. T will be for a 3. She hits the front of the rim, and there's a loose foul down underneath. We got Vines entangled up with Regalado down below.
Regalado's a guard on offense, but she's defending Vines on defense, and they're going to call that on Regalado. That's a big call. How the refs officiate Vines crashing the offensive glass, real important, as she's going to get a rest right now. Talking about Vines.
And we've seen her once go back to the bench, and you're going to need her for 4 quarters. Back outside for a 3-ball. Back iron's no good. Loose ball, and that's going to go out of bounds, so Holland will get the rebound. So
again, the allure of that long 3-point arc, because that's what it was. I think Lawton MacArthur is falling for that line a bit too much.
Yeah, we see that for those in Lawton that went to the Coliseum. They have those 3 lines, and it kind of gets confusing, but you're not going to change it. Almost stolen, but then it's a nice drive, stop and pop by Elise Hill, and they extend that lead to 20.
Elise Hill's made a couple of shots right now, and that's off a trap.
Now it's the largest lead. It was 5. Now the largest lead is 6. 20-14. Highlanders need a bucket. Back over to T. Oh, waits for the little opportunity. Alyssa Mack, she gets stripped and stolen. She tries to go in the lane. Stolen by Johnson.
Now Mack had no room to drive. She tried to dribble between 2 players.
Elise Hill. Back over to Regalado. From way downtown, way off the mark, into the hands of Martinborough, as she'll go to her sister, T, who'll across the timeline. Outside to Fisher. She wasn't quite ready for it, but gets it in the baseline inside, and then a foul on the way up by Thompson, and a charge is called.
I think the charge will be on, lost the name there, on Fisher. for the baseline drive. The passing for Lon MacArthur still shaky right now.
Well, they're down by 6 with 3:55 left to go. See what they can come up with here. Holland with Casper. Back up top to Hill. Hill will be guarded against Fisher. Back over to Casper. She'll drive. She didn't penetrate. Kick out back over to Fugate. Back up top to Casper from way downtown. The front of the rim and then out. But then picked up on the baseline for the rebound by Johnson. Inside the paint. Circumvents 2 defenders. No foul. Picked up by Alyssa Mack, though. And Mack gets the rebound. Her and Regalado was really physically back and forth with each other underneath.
Yep. I think Lon MacArthur, they're just not using their vision real well on offense. They're getting a lot of passes deflected. If they're not getting stolen, they're still having passes that are getting knocked away by the quick hands of Holland Hall.
That's a good assessment of the quick hands. That's the best way to define Holland. Just quick hands, not only quick hands but quick feet, and they're right in the position where they need to be. Martinborough come back out. Into Mack, little floater right there. No, as she goes over 15, no good. Rebounded by Fugate. So another missed opportunity for the Highlanders. Out to Casper, goes baseline. She'll drive, she'll get tapped out, rejected, but into the hands for the rebound for Holland, and there's a foul on the floor.
So right now Holland Hall is going to make it really hard for MacArthur to throw it inside the Vines. They are throwing in a second defender to take away the backside, which means Lon MacArthur has to be the team that adjusts to that and find a way to get good shots. That was a good open shot by Max. She just didn't make it.
So Johnson will check out of the ballgame for Holland with 2:47 left to go before the half. Look to inbounds. Looks to drive. Back out top. Top of the key. Stops and puts that in for a 2.
By Hill. She's been the player of the second quarter.
Hill put it and extends that Holland lead to a greater lead. 8-point lead now for the Dutch. Looking for the Highlanders to go baseline, and she will get stripped. And a clean call. And Hill takes it the distance, dribbles between her legs, puts it up, no good. Rebounded by Alyssa Mack. So here we go, trying to get something out of nothing for the Highlanders as they have been in a drought scoring-wise. It's Horton into the ballgame. Vines, she gets back iron, but then she gets her own rebound, put back up for 2 is good.
And that's been a lot of MacArthur offense, but they need more. They need some shooters to help out Vines. They haven't had that yet.
Yeah, and sometimes they have that. I mean, but like you said, they've just not fallen. I mean, Martinborough can do it, either one of them outside, but that's what got them here the last 2 games is that low post play. Going to go try, get stripped on the way in, clean. Alyssa Mack with the steal. Back up to Mack, who comes down the other end of the floor. She'll put it up, and she'll put it up for a 3. An Eastside Pharmacy 3, just what the doctor ordered, just in the nick of time, and the Highlanders are back in striking distance, 22-19.
That's the first jump shot Lon MacArthur's made this game.
So outside, perimeter passing. With the final buck, 8-7. It's stripped, and Vines gets a piece of it on the way in, and it goes out of bounds.
Great block by Vines because she got all ball. The player for Holland Hall made a good drive to the basket, that being Regalado, but Vines stayed with her. She didn't let her just get around her and score easily.
So you have a 3-point advantage when it was up to 8, and the Highlanders have chipped away with that with a buck 4. Right before the half, a fast-flowing game right now, and we're going to say
illegal screen.
Illegal screen.
I didn't see movement on that, so I don't know, but not a lot of arguing. They're going to call that foul on Davis for Holland Hall. If MacArthur can keep it this score as it is, they have to feel good given that they were down 8.
Yes.
If they can get within 1 or 2 or better, they'll feel really good heading into halftime.
Mosby will check into the ball game for the Highlanders. Vines will be way up top to Mosby outside perimeter for a 3-ball. Sinks it again. An Eastside Pharmacy 3. Just like that for the Highlanders. They're back in business, and we have a tie ball game.
And that was from the men's range there.
39 seconds left to go. All tied up at 22 apiece. We've got a ball game here, and then it's Fugate Out to Casper. Casper backpedals for a three. She answers. 3 for 3. And just like that, Holland answers in a big way to make it 25-22.
You don't see too many girls step back like that with their dribble and shoot a three. That was a very impressive shot.
17 seconds left to go, playing for the last shot. Up top to Mosby. Mosby looks. 13 seconds left to go. Down to Mack. Mack between triple coverage. She'll have a tie-up and a jump ball is called, and the possession arrow will stay with Macarthur. 8.9 seconds left to go. Still playing for the last shot. To inbounds, Martinborough. As they break into Mack. Mack with a little stutter step puts it up and in. And we're back up to a 1-point lead. 25-24, and that is going to be your halftime score. Don't go anywhere. We've got an exciting finish to this one. Holland and the Macarthur Lady Highlanders. We've got special interviews with the Martinborough twins. We've also got a lot of vines, and we've got halftime stats to go over as well. We'll take a timeout and be back right after this. You're listening to Big Mac Basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
You ever have a meal so good you want to dance? If you haven't yet, you will. At Gangnam Style Korean Barbecue, that's our goal. We serve only the best in Korean cuisine. We've got several different flavors of bulgogi and fried rice, premium fish plates, and sushi. Our customers love us, and you will too. Check out our menu and even order online. Come on in and we'll show you how we do it Gangnam Style.
Medical Group's orthopedic specialists are the most experienced team in Southwest Oklahoma. Our orthopedic surgeons are trained to diagnose and treat shoulder, knee, hip, hand, and foot conditions, as well as orthopedic trauma, sports, or work-related injuries. And they're the only ones in the area to offer Mako robotic-assisted surgery for knee and hip replacement. When you need bone and joint help, trust MMG Orthopedics to get you back to living your best life.
Well, I'm with the Martinborough twins, and who do I start out with? Okay, I'm going to start with the oldest, okay? So we'll start off with you. How exciting is this, not only to make state, but this is what Coach says is the next level. I mean, it's important to be here, but it's not just enough to be here, right?
Yes, it is honestly very exciting, especially since it's our third year going. It's really fun to see how far we can go and how far we've been going these past couple of years, so it's really exciting to see how it is going to go.
What's it going to take for you to get a win, especially at 9 o'clock in the morning? Are you guys going to still have sleepy eye, bedhead? What's going to motivate you to get up that early and get ready?
Shoot. We're going to be waking up really early, so we just need to make sure that we wake up prepared and wake up to, make sure we do what we need to do to win, because we need to get started. We can't play to anyone else's level. We can't sloop down just because of how tired we are in the morning. We need to make sure we get this going.
and no staying up all night, giggling and doing all those kind of things, right?
Oh, yes. Definitely none of that. Shoot, none of that.
What's it like you? I mean, you're taking the ball down. You're kind of the leader of this. You kind of get the things in motion. How special is it to be here again? And is that enough, or we want to go more?
Yeah, of course. It's always special, Every year we always come with a different team, I feel like, different strengths. And I feel like this year we are very young. We're actually a pretty young team. So I feel like with these girls, I'm grateful to lead them. I feel like it's always never enough. The goal is the gold ball. So it's like this 3 years is my last year. I really want to go out with a bang. So I feel like with these girls, just take it all the way. We might as well. We're already here, huh?
So we know that she's just a tad bit older than you. This started probably in the backyard. Who's the better basketball player at home?
It's me.
And you're going to agree to that?
Yeah, she started a year earlier than me. She got it.
Did she kind of get you kind of excited to play basketball because she led in that way? So even though she's a little bit younger, she's going to take the lead on that, huh?
Oh, yes. Trust me. That's twins competition. Yes, she got me into this. She got me reeled up. Oh, yeah.
Now, we also have Alyssa Mack. We're going to talk with her, too, and she's an underclassman. What advice would you give to her as you pass the baton on to her?
Yes. Alyssa, she's very sweetheart. I'm very excited for her. Her junior, senior year, they're going to be a great team still. So I'm very excited for her to take on that leadership. She's a little timid, a little quiet. And I'm just excited for her to get out of her bubble and, take control of the team because I know she has the potential to do that.
At Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air Conditioning, we take pride in our quality air conditioner and heater repair and replacement services, as well as providing the highest customer satisfaction. Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air Conditioning has been serving Lawton and the surrounding area for over 25 years. We have the knowledge, equipment, and trained technicians to take care of all your heating and cooling needs. Give us a call. Bill Miller and Noble Heating and Air, 355-1811.
Well, courtside here at Lloyd Noble in Norman, Oklahoma, site of this first of the many games slated, and we're going to be up into the nighttime because you've got all of the the pecking order in 5A, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But halftime stats, it's a good one here as Macarthur is only down 1 to Holland, 25-24. Jordan Ray.
So individual stats for Lawton Macarthur, well, no surprise. It's been the Mack and Vines show for them. They combined for 17 points. Alyssa Mack has 8. Elena Vines has 9 points. And so that means other players need to step up. That's Layla Mosby hit that three-pointer. And is it Tajnea Martinborough?
Yeah, it's Tajana and Tiana.
Yeah. Okay. So
T is number 5. Taj is 15.
Okay, T.
Yes.
Okay, 4 points. That's it for Lawton Macarthur. Their guards have got to play better. And then for Holland Hall, Elise Hill is a problem. She's got 12 points for them. Regalado hasn't scored since the first quarter. But think about the shooting here. Okay, so Holland Hall has 30 shots. Lawton Macarthur only 20, Eric. That's a significant number. Interestingly enough, Holland Hall has no made free throws. But 30 shots to Lawton Macarthur's 20. And why would you have more shots? Well, 2 main reasons. One team's turned the ball over a lot, and the other team's getting offensive rebounds. 9 offensive rebounds in the first half for Holland Hall. That's got to get better for Lawton Macarthur. And because Holland Hall's going to improve on 1 or 2 aspects of what they need to do. And one of the things they need to do is get to the free throw line. And so we'll see if that changes.
All right, so we'll see what the adjustments are made. We'll take another timeout, and then we'll be back with Alana Vines, our halftime guest. We'll do that right after this. Big Mac basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Bank First is uniquely Oklahoman, deeply rooted in over 50 communities statewide. From those roots, our investment in education springs forth, helping to raise the Oklahoma leaders of tomorrow while providing financial strength to the business leaders of today. That's the kind of loyalty that helps entire communities thrive. Bank First, loyal to Oklahoma, loyal to you.
Okay, I got to say, I got to start off with how impressed I was with the last 2 games. You had, our player of the game to finish out, and then, the last 2 days you really dominated under the post. Are you really gaining that confidence at the right time as we go to state?
Yes, I feel like as practice goes on, I'm getting more and more touches and, really getting comfortable with me down there. So as season goes on, I'm getting more comfortable down there.
What motivates you for this? I mean, not just be happy to be in state of the final 8, but what is the motivational factor for us to get a win over Holland Hall?
The gold ball. I mean, there's one goal is to win it all, so just keep it going.
And for you, a senior, you're going to lay it out all on the line, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and let's talk about, your preparation. How concerned are you to have an early morning start? I know that you guys are going up the night before, so you don't have to worry about a long bus ride in the morning, but it's still an early morning. How do you get your mental focus as well as being ready prepared for this game?
Just wake up, prepared, eat breakfast, stay healthy, and then there's no excuses. It's an early game, but we still need to be ready to play.
Go Big Mac! Take state!
At Firehouse Subs, a portion of every purchase helps provide life-saving equipment to first responders across the country. So at Firehouse Subs, we don't just make subs. We make subs that are big, bold, and craveable. We make our subs differently because our subs make a difference. Whether you order online or on our app, Firehouse Subs Rapid Rescue to Go will have your subs boxed, bagged, and ready for pickup. Firehouse Subs. Enjoy more subs. Save more lives.
All right, we're back with about minute 9 before we start second half, and I'll just go to you, just kind of play the coach's role. So if you're Holland, what are you telling your team before you start second half?
Well, I'm just reminding, we need to be consistent with how they defend Vines. They start to make some adjustments with a backside defender, make the other Lady Highlanders show they can shoot the ball, which they started to do at the end of the second quarter. But Vine still got it free for a basket, so they still need to be consistent with that defense. And then
for Macarthur, what are you telling them? Yeah.
Turnovers need to get better, and offensive rebounds need to go away for Holland. They've got to be better at both, so they can get more shot attempts. The 10-shot attempt gap is hard to overcome generally in basketball. But the reason why a lot of Macarthur's closed that gap a bit is because they've shot the ball a little better because they got inside, and They made some free throws.
Well, we're going to see what all that adjustment talk is about, and we'll put it on the floor. Glad you could join us on Facebook for those who are on YouTube. Hey, download our free app. You can watch all of our contests in one little click of a button. Just search your Apple or Android devices by the Oklahoma Sports Network. Download for free. Watch for free. And then also on YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Facebook, follow us there. Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Into the hands of the Dutch. They will start off with the ball as they flip ends of the court, and they're on our side. Elise Hill. A little handoff to Fugate, and then back up top to Regalado. She'll look to drive outside corner. A lot of movement with a lot of perimeter passing. Down below against Alyssa Mack. Turnaround jumper is no good. Loose ball picked up. Highlanders get the rebound, and then Fisher is going to hand off to T, as she'll hand that off to Martinborough. So it's M to M. So the M&M factor with the twin sisters, Martinborough to Martinborough, back over to, and then we got a travel call by Alyssa Mack. So she took the step.
I didn't catch how Mack traveled because there was like several players between me and her in my vision of what happened. But a good first defensive possession for Lawton Macarthur. Now looking to press.
Almost get the steal. And into the hands of Regalado. And she'll hand off quickly to Elise Hill. Outside corner for a 3-ball look. Rims out. Vines with the rebound. And the Highlanders are going pressure. They're going fast down the floor. Back up to Vines. Outside corner to T. She'll put it up. Back irons. Man, it was a good look, but it just would not fall. Into the hands of Holland and the rebound.
But good transition defense from Lawton Macarthur.
Fugate over to Hill. 3-ball on the way. That rims in and out. Rebound by Regalado. She's trapped by 2 defenders. Back outside to Fugate. She'll put one up. No good. Rebound, and Alyssa Mack got a finger in the eye.
Yeah, that can definitely affect someone's shooting. I think she's going to want to stay in. Doesn't look like she's hurt too bad.
No. Just kind of looking. Referee's going to go and say, are you okay? Yeah, I say, he looked at her eye. Is there an eyelash or anything in there? No, I'm good. I'm good.
Or do you wear contacts?
Yeah. Oh, I hated that. Back in the day when they would fall out so easily and people are scrambling on the court. I remember that.
That's why I said no to contacts. It's too much work. I'd rather wear glasses.
Too much of a contact sport. Yeah, like Kurt Rambis. We need it's a 3-ball look by Fisher is no good. And it is rebounded into Holland, and we're stalled at our halftime score with almost 2 minutes eclipsed off the clock. Turnaround jumper. Back outside to Fugate. She'll drive. Little hand over to Hill. Back up top of the key, we'll regroup. Fugate. 3-ball, that hits the back glass and nothing else. Into the hands of Fisher. She will not wait. Wait, stop, pop. Puts it up in the front of the rim. No good. Rebounded by Hill. So we still have an empty score as we go back up and down the floor a little bit too hard. Regalado for a 3-ball on the way. Misses the mark. She gets her own rebound. Inside the paint is stopped by 2 defenders. Outside for a far side three, and that finally goes in.
Offensive rebounding. They got 2 that trip. Leads to an open 3. Otherwise, for Lawton Macarthur, they have not got inside the Vines yet this quarter. And they have not hit a shot yet.
To a 4-point lead. Martinborough. Martinborough back to Vines to Martinborough. Bullet pass over to Fisher. Back up top to T. So M to M. So the M&M twin sisters down to Alyssa Mack. She'll go baseline, turnaround jumper. That's her shot she likes, and she gets the little shooter's roll.
It's an awkward-looking shot, but she is very effective with it.
She likes that shot, and her father wants her to drive more, but I asked her in that interview, she liked that fadeaway better. So into the hands of Johnson.
As long as she makes it.
Yeah, that's what I say. Oh, wow, what a smooth transition in between 2 defenders as Regalado is showing her dominance, and she gets it to 30.
She shows why, if you're right-handed, you need to have a good left hand and vice versa. That was a great left-handed attack by a right-handed player. You have to do that against taller players, too, if you want to score.
So now it's a 4-point lead for Holland. Fisher has really come out in the second half. She's really taken it. She gets her own rebound off the miss, puts it off the glass, no good. Loose ball picked up, and it's going to go out of bounds. And last touch by the Highlanders.
Oh, Fisher had the look on the rebound.
But I love her. You know what Coach says? Someone's got to make that shot. She's taken that. And if they can just get to fall, and right now, not so. 4-point Holland lead with 4:09 left to go. Hey, we got some great games in the matchup. Newcastle is at noon. Carl Albert Girls is coming up next on the Oklahoma Sports Network. Looks to drive, back out. The 3-ball look is taken out for Fugate. She drives, then backs out, and she'll start again. Gets away 2 defenders with a fake pass, puts it up with a nice look, but gets the rebound up by Davis is good for 2.
Another offensive rebound. In that case, Tajana needs to be ready for a defensive rebound attempt. She just stood under the basket. A Holland Hall player, I think it was Davis, just crashed in and shot over her.
So
it's too easy.
Full timeout. So it's 32-26. Matt calls timeout. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
I'm Dr. Todd Bridges.
And I'm Dr. Nathan Buckner.
Did you know our dental practice is one of only 6% of practices in the United States that provide care from an all-digital platform?
We fabricate crowns, bridges, and place implants with advanced digital technology.
If you want to be part of this digital revolution in dental care, call us today at 248-6700 or visit our website at bridgesandbucknerdentistry.com.
We look forward to providing you with exceptional dental care.
State championship here live at Lloyd Noble, site of the Oklahoma Sooners, who is going to have a Bedlam game in Kansas City today. So if you're inclined, you got Thunder tonight, you got OU OSU basketball, and you got high school basketball. And we'll start as Martinborough will find Vines all alone, puts back off the glass for 2. What a great way to time out and get a quick basket.
What a bullet pass that was. Holland Hall just not ready on defense.
Back with a back reverse put up, and she's going to go airborne as Davis, and there is a whistle.
Over the back on Davis. Holland Hall, again, really good at crashing the offensive glass. They get burned on that one with an over-the-back foul. That's the one risk you take. But otherwise, that's been the difference, is that they've relentlessly do that, and it's paid off for them for the most part.
3:28 left to go here in quarter number 3. As Martinborough will cross the timeline, back up to Alyssa Mack. She's up top, down to Vines, who's double-teamed, and then they try to go on. She didn't think she touched it, and they're going to say the last one to touch it was Macarthur, so Mosby let it fly, and she should have just taken it.
Mosby's probably right, though. I think the path of the ball got altered when Vines tried to kick it back out.
Well, they just didn't get to see it, so Macarthur doesn't get one right there. 32-28 your score. Holland with the lead and with the ball. Hill going over to Regalado. She'll drive. She'll put it up. Reverse layup. No good. Rebounded by Holland. There goes that offensive board again. That's been the Achilles heel for the Highlanders. Regalado back out to Cosper. Why out? Top of the key to Fugate. 2:44 left to go. Back into to Regalado. Back to Casper. Looks to drive. Back up top to Fugate. Now the little perimeter passing as they'll just kind of toss and pass at the top of the key until they find something they want to execute. Almost a steal by Martinborough. A loose ball, tie up, and a jump ball is called.
Go to Lon MacArthur. Looked like Regalado got surprised at least, or kind of like thought she got hit or something, but they didn't call that. So Lon MacArthur forces a jump ball, their best defensive possession of this quarter.
Mosby will inbounds over to Martinborough. And Taj will give it up to Alyssa Mack. Boy, there's a fighting between Regalado and Vines down below. They are really pushing, using their arm for support. Vines looks to try to get underneath, but there's no to go. And Martinborough eyes the three from way on the far wing. Decides to bring it up top. Casper guarding against her. Back to Mosby. Vines still trying to get down underneath. They're going to have to get an open side shot because they're not going to let that one loose. 1:49 left to go. Mosby out to Mack. Mack styes for the three, readjusts, puts back up, and the underclassman shows her worth on the state floor to make it within two.
She's the one who's most consistently hitting jumpers for Lon Mack, mid-range jumpers, but they've fallen for her a lot of times. She's keeping them in this game.
Just what they needed. The late was the 8-point lead at one time for Holland. Goes strong up against Vines, and she's going to capitalize on the bucket off the glass. The bank is open.
Again, she's right-handed. She's making some difficult left-hand shots there. Very impressive.
Mack, she'll go strong and hard to the hoop, and the bucket counts.
Another left-handed shot.
Quickly down the floor, coast to coast, misses the opportunity, and Martinborough with the rebound. It's a 3-on-2. Alyssa Mack inside the lane, almost gets stripped, puts it up, and I'll tell you what, she's fouled on the way up.
Boy, MacArthur dodged a bullet. They made the basket, and then they had bad transition defense because I think it was Mack tried to help another player off the floor. It may have been Vines. I missed who it was. Don't try to help a teammate up when it's a live ball. You help a teammate up when it's a dead ball.
Yes.
But Holland Hall missed that layup, and now we have free throws on the other end for Mack.
So the Vincent Saylor State Farm charity stripe, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And Alyssa Mack, she's having a game of her life, and I love it because she was kind of a little quiet last game, and I knew that she was there. She just wasn't hitting like we normally see her do, and so it's good that she's having a really great game.
This is a game of runs, I got to say.
It is, for back and forth and almost tied up at 34-33. But the miss on the front iron is rebounded by Holland. Quickly down the floor, here comes Fugate. Outside to Casper for three, and she's fouled, and she'll go to the line for three.
RV was blocked by the coaches for Holland Hall. I didn't see, but there wasn't a lot of contact because Casper didn't fall down for Holland Hall.
The old Cardinal rule, you don't foul the three-point shooter.
Yeah.
And she banks the first one. So the 1-point lead now goes back up to 2. And 2 shots yet to go for your Vincent Saylor State Farm charity stripe. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Luckily, she misses that one for the Lady Highlanders. Vines will check back into the ball game. She had a quick breather.
And that's better rebounding position for Lawton MacArthur if Casper misses this third free throw.
Shot on the way, and she gets that one. She gets 2 for 3. The damage is done, and it's back to a 3-point lead, 36-33, with 32 seconds left to go here in the third. Alyssa Mack looks to drive in between 2 defenders. Then she tries to do the bounce pass to Vines. It's a tie-up, and there's still a tie-up, and a jump ball is called, and the possession arrow is going to go to Holland.
Yeah, it's risky when you try to throw a low pass inside because there's so many more chances to knock the ball away if you're on defense. Very important defensive possession for Lawton MacArthur coming up with 20 seconds to go in the third quarter.
A lot of bodies in there to try to do a bounce pass. 17 seconds left to go before the end of the third. Into the hands of Regalado. She'll drive. Little bash dish out to Johnson. Johnson will get it almost stripped up off the glass for 2 is good. And Holland's on a run again to make it 38-33. At the buzzer, going to put that, and hits the iron on the right side, but doesn't go in for not a half-court shot, but in between to try to get the 3, and we end the third quarter 38-33. We'll be back with the fourth and final period right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We are celebrating.
Here at Pam and Barry's team, we've been helping you through the real estate process for more than 20 years.
We want to thank you for choosing our team to help you.
We sold our house at full asking price, and it took less than about a week to get our full asking price with Pam and Barry.
Don't go at it alone.
Let us handle it all here.
We're not bragging, we're just applying for a job.
Well, the pursuit for the gold ball will start right now as we had 8, and we're going to have an opportunity to have 8 minutes left to go here in this fourth and final period.
Only 2 points for Vines in the third quarter, so they need to get her going again.
They've clamped that down, and they've taken that away, and that was the objective, as you can kind of see. But like I said, someone else has to step up. So back over to Vines, and she'll be fouled on the way. So there you go. And this is what happened with the Piedmont game. You do that enough, you send her to the line. You also get into foul trouble. As far as the team is concerned, they're up to 4 right now. And this has been a loose called game so far.
Yeah, it's only the second foul on Elise Hill, one of the best players for Holland Hall. Vines hits the first free throw. She didn't agree with that call, but I thought there was plenty of body contact.
Well, does any player agree with any call?
That's true, but
I understand. If you're really going to, if you're really argue it, yeah.
I think players are better served arguing rarely when they really have a point.
So we're back to a 3-point game, 38-35 as Vines hits both of her free throws. Back to a full court press, and here comes the trap. Martinborough against Regalado, but she's going to cross the timeline. Loose ball picked up, and there's going to be a reach in. Trying to pick the pocket is Fisher.
I like the gamble there.
She just played really aggressive. We know that in the reach in with the push.
You know, Macarthur's defense, they really haven't forced turnovers. They haven't used their team speed to get that many steals. That needs to, maybe something also gets better if they're playing from behind. So that was a good attempt there at a steal.
Bounce pass to Fugit. Over to Casper. Casper will drive. Find Regalado. She'll look to drive around Vines, and her and Mac, she split the defenders, and you can pick which one you're going to get the foul on. It's going to be on Vines.
I don't know about that. I thought Vines was pretty vertical.
It's going to be her first, but we're going to go back to the charity stripe for the Vincent Saylor State Farm charity stripe. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call for a free rate quote today. First shot is up and good.
Holland Hall had no made free throws at halftime, as of halftime, and now they're starting to get some looks from the free throw line and making them.
Holland Hall had 8-point lead at one point, and now they're back up to a 5-point lead. Playing for desperation, winner advances to the semifinals in this quarterfinal matchup. The winner of the next game featured Carl Albert and Will Rogers. Readjust on the three for and I cannot believe she's just off. Martinborough is off of her game. She can sink those when it's a free look, and she just didn't get the shot she wanted.
Yeah, I would try taking it to the basket, even though the lane was clogged, but see if you can get to the free throw line.
A jump ball is called. So the aggressiveness and the inbounds works enough, but the possession arrow is still going to stay with Holland.
That was a good trap, though. That's what a lot of Macarthur needs. They need a good defensive sequence here.
Crosses the timeline. A lot of banging, and there we go. We're going to say T is going to be in there.
It's because Hill hesitated, or I think actually that may have been Johnson for Holland Hall, but she hesitated, and then coming in from behind is Martinborough to Jana, and she made just enough contact for a foul called.
I think that's going to be her first or second, right? Oh, travel. So a walk as Makaya Johnson tried to go to the baseline from the near corner.
You know, I thought she came close a couple other times to travel, and she does kind of shuffle her feet a bit before she dribbles. That time she made it obvious enough for her travel to be called.
Fisher, okay, that's smart because she's going to go strong to the hoop and she's going to get fouled by Hill.
You know, refs are calling it tight. That's a good job. She adjusts how the refs are calling it. Use it to your advantage.
I think she is because, it wasn't really the best shot selection of going up, but you know what? She's going to go and she's going to shoot too. Greer Benson Sailor State Farm Charity Stripe, and this is what helped them in the Piedmont game is knocking those two, and they missed the first one. And the broadcast jinx gives her the miss on the first one. Still a 5-point lead with 6:47 left to go here in the fourth. Second shot is up. Back iron's no good. She misses them both. Missed opportunity. She was going to try to pickpocket in the back, try to coast, and we're going to be a foul up on the other end. Going strong to the hoop is Fugate. She took the rebound, goes coast to coast, and that foul is going to be on Horton, and that's going to be her first.
I believe Lawton MacArthur has missed their last 3 free throws, and Holland Hall is getting to the free throw line and has been making them. Well, there's a jinx,
Hey,
I guess.
there you go. A nice little Hardy jinx. Got that first one missed. Still a 5-point lead with 6:40 left to go. Long time to go in this one. Second shot coming up. Glad you could join us here on the network for basketball all day long. She gets that one to fall to make it 41. Martinborough will wait for Alyssa Mack to cross. Down to Vines. Bounce pass. Stripped, and they're going to say she tried to pick the pocket, and a foul over on Elise Hill.
On the floor, so next foul will put Lawton MacArthur in the bonus.
And that's going to help a little bit if they can start hitting those. I saw that in the Piedmont game, and that's a reversal because MacArthur has 2 to give. They've got 5 team fouls. Martinborough here on the right wing. Back down below to Vines. She's double-teamed. It's going to go out of bounds and last touched.
Okay, so Lawton MacArthur's going to run a blob play. That's what I call a baseline out of bounds. Not my idea, but I know others have called it that. They need a good one here. They need to get a good shot off the inbounds.
Martinborough to Mack. Mack puts it on the floor. Fade away. Puts it up strong up a hoop. No good. No foul. Picked up by Casper. Crosses the timeline. Out for Hill through 3 ball, and she banks it.
Again,
a timeout is called by Holland.
Aleel Mitchell tried to help Mack off during a live ball, and that just hurt Lawton MacArthur's defense. You can't help a player off when you're trying to get back on defense. That takes priority. You'll have to let your teammate get herself off the floor.
So it's a 30-second timeout and another big lead by Holland, and we saw this in the first half. Holland was up by 8, and the Highlanders come down, bring it within 1 at halftime.
Yeah, they MacArthur, all they can do, well, I mean, the main thing is keep trying to get it inside, but you have to focus and make sure you're getting a good shot off. And then on defense, you just have to make sure you're protecting the paint, but they may need to ratchet up the pressure a little bit here. And if they have a good trap, a good full court trap, they're close to needing to use it. There's still plenty of time with 6 minutes to go, but they're close as Lawton MacArthur to needing to play with a little bit more desperation.
Largest lead of the ball game is 9 by Holland. Martinborough, she'll take it straight, and that's what we're going to do. She takes it straight for a layup, and she's fouled on the way in, and that will put them in the bonus in the 1-and-1. Casper with the foul, but she'll be shooting 2.
Martinborough has to be frustrated. She couldn't get the 3-point opportunity, but I think Lawton MacArthur just has to relax and be calm. Don't get frustrated. That's what leads to more bad decisions.
She gets first one to go.
And we're getting closer to the double bonus now.
Randy Davis will check back in the ball game. She'll replace Casper for Holland.
See what defense they play off a make. That's usually off a made free throw. That's when you can set up a really good pressure defense.
Second shot coming up by Martinborough. Up and in. She banks them both. Chip away at that lead.
Full court man.
7-point lead now. Was up to 9. Highlanders need to do something both defensively and offensively. Turnaround jumper into Regalado, and she's unstoppable when she's on fire.
And she had the size mismatch, and Lawton MacArthur, the double team was not effective.
Back up to a 9-point lead. Mosby, backpedal. She'll look, stop, and she'll pop. Back iron's no good. Into the hands of Hill for a rebound. Coach says settle down. So we have Lawson says, slow it down, and we got a foul on the floor by Fisher. Is that going to be her third or fourth? Her fourth.
Well, it won't be free throws, but the next one will be. Now you're getting a little desperate. Now you have to try to find ways to force turnovers. Usually it just entails playing a really tight man defense.
So Johnson to inbounds over to Fugit. She'll take it in the far end of the court to Regalado. Back to Fugit with a little pass. She'll stop and pop. No good. Loose ball, and it's out of bounds. Last touched by Holland Hall. So the Highlanders will get possession. And this is an important possession right here.
Yeah.
I feel that this is really where they can get a turn if they can get maybe a three-point, like a bucket and the harm, but they need to get some momentum here.
Yeah, Mosby, you don't want it to take a long contested two. You want that. Well,
yeah, that
she
was
dropped it.
Underneath the vines, and she mishandled it. It was a great pass, but she just couldn't get it corralled underneath in time.
Had she caught it, she would have had an easy layup, too. That's a tough one. It was the right idea.
The woulda, coulda, shouldas, right? Yeah. Inbounds in the full court press is Hill. Back over to the hands of Fugit. Mosby prevents her from going around her. Then she loses that opportunity. Oh, and there's a little throw. It was a miscalculated. Regalado was not ready for it, and they just passed. And I know it was kind of like Davis says here, no one home.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. Lord Macarthur has been given opportunities the last couple of times by getting stops, but offensively they're in a funk right now.
Yeah, they need to get out of it in a hurry. Morrow over to Vines. Vines will get to Mack. Mack will drive, and she will be fouled.
So a really important 1-and-1 coming up here for Mack.
So your Vincent Saylor State Farm Charity Stripe, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call for a free rate quote today. Home Life Auto. Alyssa Mack to the line in the 1-and-1. Important is the first one. Up and in. Makes it 38.
So if she makes it, will Lord Macarthur stay with just a regular full-court man, or will they do some type of trapping?
Well,
at some point they have to think about trapping.
Yeah, because the time is the factor now. Second shot up and good. So she gets them both to make it 46-39, and the Highlanders now need something defensively if they can. Playing a little keep away in the perimeter basketball. It's Regalado, and why not? Just use a lot of bit of time as we can. Hand over to Johnson. Johnson almost misfires as Fugit gets it right off of the inbounds off the floor as Fisher was guarding her. Back over to Regalado. Floating pass to Hill. And we'll just perimeter passing. Three ball on the way from NBA range. And no good. But they get their own rebound. The offensive board into the hands of Davis. To Regalado. She'll go up and around, and the bucket will count. She'll go around Alyssa Mack. The bucket counts.
You know, again, one of the things I noticed doing high school games is so many right-handed players are not confident with their left hand. Regalado has killed Lord Macarthur this half with her left hand.
3-point swing, and it's the largest lead tonight at 10. 49-39 with 3:46 left to go in the fourth. The desperation for the Highlanders. Three ball on the way, and just what the doctor ordered, what you need. She can get hot in a hurry. At Eastside Pharmacy, three is good.
Now the guys get a stop. They can't trade baskets.
49-42 with 3:29 left to go. So Martinborough starts with the three ball. Oh, on her knees is Regalado, and she's able to get up out of that incredibly without the travel.
She kept her dribble.
Yeah, she dribbled while on her knees. Alyssa Hill, and then a split the defenders too much, but into the hands of the Highlanders with a missed layup. Here comes Fisher. Oh, she finds a quick lane. Up off the glass for two is good. Just like that, we're back in the ballgame for the Highlanders. 49-44 with 2:56 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Fugit back over to Regalado. They have slowed down, and when they slow down the pace, you can kind of get out of rhythm when you play stall ball. Outside.
Almost a charge. They try to draw a charge. No call at all.
Back up to Fugit with 2:36, and they're going to take as much time as they want. Regalado into the hands of Hill. Now you got to say how much are you going to let them, because the time is going to be the factor. Comes all the way over to the left side. Regalado, loose ball. Oh, a timeout is called by Macarthur. So both teams call timeout at the time, and they'll grant one and grant the other.
I don't get that. They're calling a turnover on Holland Hall.
A turnover, okay.
What's the call?
Well, I
don't know what the call is. If that maybe an offensive foul.
No,
but they're not
you're right.
motioning for a foul.
They're just going to say out of bounds right here.
Oh, they're going to say, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it is out of bounds. We can't get a good look at our sideline.
So now they're going to call a timeout, so they'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. 49-44 with 2:17 left to go. We'll be back right after this on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
We're growing and changing to serve you better. Until then, we're making room and reducing inventory during our Billingsley Hyundai construction sale, expanding to serve you better. That's the Billingsley way.
We're bringing big back. It's bigger, cheesier. The Big New Yorker from Pizza Hut. Big pizza, bigger deal. Y'all hungry? Better be hungry.
Well, Macarthur ends up calling a timeout, but I think it was out of bounds, and they were ready for play, but then it was so much confusion that Otis just says, okay, I need to call a timeout. We need to regroup the troops anyway.
So Macarthur started.
This is an important possession.
They started going for steals. They have to do that. And then they previous possession, they got to stop because of a missed layup. Sometimes that's what you need. You need to try attempting layups and hope they miss.
Fisher will go straight to the hoop, fakes the pass, high up off the glass, no good. Rebounded by the Holland Hall Dutch. Thrown across court, over to Davis. They'll slow this one down. They're going to take the timeout. Johnson back up top to Hill. She's almost at the half-court line with 1:55 left to go. Time is the factor against the Highlanders. They need the ball back. They're going to play keep away. As Regalado hands off to Fugit. And she'll say, come chase me, because I'll just use all the clock I can with 1:43. And now we've got a foul.
You have to think about who you want to foul. I'm not sure if that's the player either, Hill. Hill and Regalado, probably not. I don't know if that was communicated or not, but you have to have an idea of what number out there you want to foul. It is a 1-and-1, though, so there can be a lot of pressure on 1-and-1, even for a good free throw shooter.
Elise Hill for the instant replay, or the State Farm Insurance.
And yeah, Hill's one of their best shooters. She showed that. She makes the first.
Coming up with the second. Rims in and out. Vines with the rebound. Capitalizing, they got to go. They got to go, and they got to go now. Fisher's going to go outside. Motenborough for a three ball. Back irons, boy, that was a good look. It hits the iron, but they get the rebound with T with the rebound to Alyssa Mack. Mack will drive. She'll go outside for another three ball. Readjusts, puts it up, and that rims in and out. So two good looks for threes and doesn't, and we got a foul on the floor.
That was a great job by Mack, too. Talking about Alyssa Mack. Drawing the defender, which really for Holland Hall, you should not be helping out from the three-point shooter. But that led to an open three, and it just did everything but go in.
Has Fisher fouled out?
Yes.
Yeah, so Fisher has fouled out.
You know players fouled out when they go and shake the hand of the opposing coach.
Yeah. That's why I had to reconfirm. I said she's coming over here. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. She's played very aggressive physically on the boards. And it's missed. Mosby into the hands for the rebound. Crosses the timeline. She'll be guarded, but she needs to go. Time is the factor with 1:10. Motenborough for a three ball. Back irons, no. So she's missed three. Vines with a putback with a rebound, no good. Goes out of bounds, but it's last touched by Holland. So Macarthur will still have the inbounds with 1:02 left to go in this contest.
Need to try to get a quick two here.
Mosby, Motenborough to Mack. Mack will drive, fade away, puts it up and in.
Oh, that's nice.
She's special to watch, and she's coming back next year for the Highlanders. 4-point contest and a whistle to stop with 51 seconds left to go.
So this will be two shots. Just got to hope that Holland Hall misses. This is probably one of the players I would foul. Not because I don't know if she's a bad free throw shooter. This is Johnson or Davis, I'm sorry, but you just don't know. But there are other players you have more confidence in to make the free throws.
Well, it's 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Also want to be able to say, don't forget, we have got exciting basketball action continuing on the Carl Albert channel. The Carl Albert Lady Titans will be in action at 10:30 or right around that time frame when they get warmed up, and we'll be on that. At noon, it's Newcastle against Weatherford. Back here at Lloyd Noble, 6 o'clock for the Carl Albert boys with Tahlequah. And then at 7:30, Del City is in action. So, man, that's a full slate of games.
You have it almost all memorized. Who's Del City playing?
Del City is playing Edison Prep.
Okay, got it all memorized. Even the times.
Just try to get all this facilitated so you can like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, download our free app on your Google and Android devices by searching the Oklahoma Sports Network. So it's an important shooting two Highlander season, all in the hourglass, and the sand is running out quickly. Up and in.
Take back what I said about Davis. That was a very good form on the shot. Nothing but net.
Back to a 5-point lead, trying to make it 6. Up, no good. Rebound by Vines and Mack. You'll credit Mack with the rebound. She'll come quickly down the floor with 45 seconds left to go. She needs to get in the hands of a shooter. Morton Barrow is it. She drives the line. Little dish pass to Vines, and she's fouled on the way up. So it's a good selection, but the time that it takes to do that. You want to hit those three. They tried for the low post, down to Vines, and she'll go to the line.
Now, that was well executed, actually. I think, it's going to take some time, but they made a quick drive. And they got to the free throw line.
But the important free throws, which they had in the Piedmont game, you really need to bank these.
Yeah, they're 11 of 15 for the game. They get down 12 of 16. So, Laud MacArthur, that's pretty solid. That's better than Holland Hall from free throws. The difference, of course, has been Holland Hall's more shots because of offensive rebounds.
Knocks them down both. It's 51-49 with 38 seconds left to go, and the full court press is on, and she makes it go out of bounds. MacArthur will get the ball at the inbounds at the line.
So what do you got to do? You can't just let them inbound the ball. Some teams will do that. They won't deny the pass very well. Laud MacArthur forces a steal there. They got a shot now.
Martin Barrow tried to get them Vines. Vines back to Martin Barrow. Martin Barrow eyes for a three. Lets that one sail. Back, no good. Rebounded. Oh, and there's a foul immediately by Mosby. Yeah. Wow, the exciting opportunity, and the shot just would not go in.
See, the problem is you're down 3. These three-point shots so alluring at that point. If you're down 4, you probably think, well, I'll just take a quick 2. That was a 4 shot, and that should not have been attempted. You were having success getting to the basket.
Elise Hill to the line and shooting 2. She rims out. And what you said at the free throw line, that MacArthur was outdoing them at the line, is paid off right now if they can just get another miss.
Either way, Laud MacArthur needs to take a quick 2, or at least attack the basket first.
She gets the shooters roll in a timeout by a 30-second by Holland Hall. So the first one hit the rim and get the shooters bounce. Wow. So stay right here. Don't go anywhere because we've got less than 30 seconds to go unless we go into overtime.
Yeah, I don't see we're used to seeing, Eric, how many timeouts both teams have, and I'm not finding that on the big scoreboard. But I'm interested for Laud MacArthur, I would imagine if they can get a quick basket, they will take a timeout. I just don't know how many they'll have left. I think they have at least 1 or 2, and I would be doing that. They have the ball. You take a 3 only after you have someone like Mack or Vines attack the paint first. Don't force a contested 3, which is what they did their last possession.
So here it is, the ball game, 52-48. MacArthur needs a little bit of a miracle here. They'll wait for the ball to roll almost at half court before she picks it up, and now she'll pick it up where the clock will start. Martin Barrow will drive. Looks to engage, turnaround jumper, up off the glass, no good. Vines with the rebound, and a jump ball is called, and it's going to stay at MacArthur. And the possession arrow. So luckily for them, they still get the tie-up to keep the ball down on their end of the floor. Martinborough will try to inbounds underneath their own basket to Alyssa Mack with 19 seconds left to go. Stop. Turn around by Mosby. Mosby for a three. Back iron's no good. That was their opportunity, and, and it's just that much short.
That was a good look.
It was the look you wanted, a foul, and that should pretty much do it.
Well, and Mack, again, draws a crowd and leads to an open three. She's making the right decisions. So it was a good look from three-point range, a quality look, just didn't fall.
So Hill to the line. Back iron's no good.
Shooting percentage for both teams is about even now, or it is even at 37.
Well, even at 12 seconds, you need to say, listen, you let them shoot the three, but don't foul them. That's the thing, because then you can win by one, even if they get the 3-point, So if this is missed, and that is missed. Into the hands of Alyssa Mack, down to 11 seconds. Playing to go with the last 10 seconds down to go. She's got a floater, back up iron off the glass, no good, and she'll be fouled on the way, and that should capitalize as a Holland Hall win with 4 seconds left to go. And unfortunately, the Macarthur Highlanders, who come to state 3 years in a row, and as Martinborough, I know she can feel it, she can sense it. That's your senior goal. You've been here 3 years, but it's not good enough to be here. You want to take it to the next level.
Yeah, I think for a lot of Macarthur, what you want is to win area, and you can draw usually an easier matchup, which they did. When I say area, I mean going 3-0. They did 2 years ago, and they just got upset by El Reno.
Second shot coming up is good. 54-48, the final 3 seconds at the half. Mike, it back irons for Alyssa Mack. She would have had a nice 3 at the buzzer, but that is your final. Holland Hall will advance over the Macarthur Lady Highlanders. Their season comes to an end, unfortunately. What a great effort, though. Coach Otis Gentry can hang his head high because of the great output. 3 years appearance to the state tourney, but it comes up just short.
Yeah, this Holland Hall team, they didn't play a great game. I think their coach would say that. But they have enough skill. The skill of their shooters and the fact that even though they're a more perimeter-oriented team, they're very effective at crashing the glass. Offensive rebounds, the difference, because the shooting was about the same. Holland Hall, a lot of their threes, they only made 5 threes, but a lot of them came off offensive rebounds.
Well, so that is going to be your final. Holland Hall defeats the Macarthur Lady Highlanders 54-48. We're going to take a brief timeout to give you your final stats, and we'll do that right after this timeout as you're watching state basketball on the Oklahoma Sports Network.
Hey there, I'm Trent Logan. Just so happens, I like to sell houses the fancy way. Hello, here for paint night.
Sit down, Trent.
That ready? What's the deal? You guys didn't bring your own gear? I'm so dadgum fancy. When I do art and stuff, I don't even have time to take a break. Tender me, babe. You can buy or sell your house with any realtor, but if you want to do it the fancy way, call me.
All right, back here at the Lloyd Noble site of the Oklahoma Sooners, which, by the way, Bedlam is going to be played in Kansas City tonight. It is a final here in the game number 1 before we head over to the Carl Albert channel to give you the Carl Albert Lady basketball team. But Holland Hall victorious over Macarthur 54-48. And for your final stats, Mr. Jordan Ray.
So what a game for Alyssa Mack. Something to look forward to for Lawton Mack. 19 points, 9 rebounds. Alana Vines, 15 points for Lawton Macarthur. No one else in double digits.
Just didn't have the help.
For Holland Hall, very impressive game by Sophia Regalado. She had 19 points. Actually, Elise Hill led them in scoring with 20. She was good in the second quarter. Sophia was good in the first quarter. They both were good in the second half. So they had a better scoring duo, and otherwise not much more scoring for Holland Hall. So The duos for Holland Hall was just more efficient. They were more effective at getting to the basket, just shot better. And then again, offensive rebounds led to a 8-shot differential. Holland Hall, 52 shots on goal. Lod MacArthur, 44. And that was a big part of it, thanks to 15 offensive rebounds for Holland Hall and to 9 for Lod MacArthur.
Well, unfortunately, their season comes up a little bit shy as Coach Gentry, been here, punched the ticket to state 3 years in a row. He's got a great program, something to build on, but the Martinborough twins, they graduate. Your Vines graduate. Mac comes back, as you alluded to, but the future's still pretty bright there on the east side of Lawton. 54-48 is your final. Head over to the Carl Albert channel where we'll be starting that broadcast soon. You've been watching a presentation of the Oklahoma Sports Network. Thank you, Jordan Ray. For Eric Sherem, bidding you a pleasant good morning. We'll be back in the Carl Albert channel. Newcastle at noon. Carl Albert again at 6 for the boys. Del City at 7:30 right here on the Oklahoma Sports Network.